Wind howled through the empty mountain village as Marco tightened his scarf. He had heard the whispers growing up. The dragon sleeps, but one day it will wake. No one in the village dared venture near the mountain anymore. Too many strange disappearances. Too many unexplainable tremors that shook the earth without warning. But Marco wasn't like the others. He needed answers. His sister, Clara, had vanished 2 years ago on a stormy night when the ground shook so violently it cracked the stone paths. Some said she had wandered too close to the mountain. Others whispered that the dragon had taken her. Marco refused to believe in fairy tales, but the empty beds and frightened faces told a story he couldn't ignore. He had to know the truth. Now, with a lantern in one hand and a rope in the other, he stood at the edge of the mountain's forbidden cave. The air felt alive, humming with energy, and a faint warmth seeped out from the dark opening, even though the snow swirled thick around him. He stepped inside. Cave walls glistened as if they were coated in diamonds, and faint rhythmic vibrations pulsed beneath his feet, like the heartbeat of something impossibly large. Marco pressed on, his breath catching in his throat with each step. The deeper he went, the louder the vibrations grew, until they weren't just underfoot. They were everywhere. Then he saw it. A massive, scaly form lay coiled in the center of the cavern. Its body shimmered with hues of gold and green, and its enormous wings stretched out, even in rest, brushing against the cavern walls. The dragon wasn't just a myth, it was real, and it was waking up. Marco froze as one of the dragon's glowing amber eyes flickered open. For a moment, it simply stared at him. Then it moved, slow and deliberate, its head rising to meet his gaze. A low rumble escaped its throat, filling the cavern like thunder. "Why have you come here, little one?" The dragon's voice boomed, deep and ancient. Marco's heart raced, but he steadied himself. Looking for my sister. She disappeared near the mountain." The dragon tilted its head, its massive eyes narrowing. "Your sister? She came seeking the same truth you do. But the mountain does not give without taking." Before Marco could respond, the ground shook violently, and the dragon's tail swept across the floor, revealing a faint outline of something familiar. A human figure, frozen in stone. His sister. The dragon's gaze softened, almost sad. "She disturbed my slumber, but you, boy, have awoken something greater." The walls of the cavern began to crack as molten light poured through the fissures. Marco stumbled backward, the dragon's voice echoing around him. "Run, little one! The mountain wakes, and it is hungry!" Without another thought, Marco turned and ran, the dragon's roar shaking the very air. Behind him, the mountain began to collapse, sealing the cave and the dragon within. But Marco wasn't safe yet. The legend wasn't about a sleeping dragon. It was about what would happen when it woke. Does this remind you of an unlikely friendship in your life? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want more stories like this, hit that subscribe button because the animal kingdom never ceases to amaze.